Today might just look like any ordinary day. Same coffee, same inbox, same conversations, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing dramatic, nothing screams turning point, turning point. But that's exactly why today matters. We may not be feeling this shift. We may still be sitting on the fence, holding that same message we're just almost ready to send, telling ourselves we'll deal with it later. But from here on out, the words we choose, the questions we don't ask, the decisions we keep kicking down the road, they're going to start showing up in very real ways. So as we move forward from today, okay, those are the threads that are going to get louder, clearer, and harder to ignore. So we'll break down the energy together. We'll start with the numerology, the astrology. We'll turn to the cards, but first, let's turn it to you. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much for you. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Welcome to your Daily Focus, November the 28th, 2025. Okay, the energy of the 28. Okay, so we have to kind of break it down in order to understand the 28 a little bit better. So 2 plus 8 is a 10, which brings in luck. It also is the wheel that keeps turning. We keep evolving. The 10 is about entering a new season, usually better energy. 1 plus 0 is the I am, the independent, the ready to go forward towards new beginnings and new starts and being the trailblazer and being the pioneer and knowing that we can do this. We have the capability of succeeding. But the 28 brings in the flavor of nothing's going to be handed to you. The 28 says, let's see if you're ready. Let's test you out a little bit. Let's see how you make those sound judgments. If we look at the daily numerology, it'd be a 2 plus a 1 plus a 9, and that gives us the 12 energy about being in the moment, in the present. Okay, living in none of the past and none of the future, but in the here and now. This is a time to, be in the moment, breathe. Just sit in silence for a few moments with your thoughts. And during those times, we may review things that are happening in our life, events and situations, happenings. And it's really hard under all this water energy to do so, but try and disconnect yourself from the emotional part of the story and look at it more on a logical basis. We might be taking something too personally or whatever it might be. 1 plus 2 is a 3, and that is all about our transformation. It is our voice, it is our thinking, it is our imagination, it is our minds, it is our communication, it is our curiosity. And leading our heart with curiosity. Okay, so you're running out of time. If you want to order the calendar in order so that it's up on the wall for January 1st, I think you got like another couple of weeks actually. So maybe I'm jumping the gun on this one, okay? Or, I've got the journal out, which is like 410 pages, all for you. Every day I choose me. And I think you're seeing the importance of those words now. Maybe you didn't see that earlier, but, this is a year where we want to show up for ourselves each and every day. And so this big, bold book that will sit there on your nightstand or wherever you might, your desk, whatever, wherever you might have it, it'll stand out boldly to say, it's time to choose you, what works best for you, what makes you stronger, more successful, more courageous, more confident. Anyways, all the info is in the description box below, okay? Astrology. Sun is in Sagittarius. Our moon is in Pisces. So keep in mind what I was talking about. Was it yesterday? The day before yesterday? Oh my gosh, it's all blurring together for me already. I think it was yesterday we talked about it. I'll check and then I'll leave the link at the end. Um, but I went through I went through a little bit of what it's going to mean for the Pisces moon to cross over Saturn and Neptune. So you might want to review that. If you do, I'll leave the link for you, okay? If you need a refresh. Today, Mercury goes stationary direct. We always like that. That's always good news in our life, okay? So during its retrograde, it left Sagittarius, it went into Scorpio. And this energy really ripped us wide open. I really called it when I was talking about the Mercury retrograde and how it differed from other Mercury retrogrades, because this one opened us up to look at the life we are living and to understand where certain parts of our life is true bliss. And we also saw probably many parts of our life that need to change. So we have the information now. We'll re-walk through Scorpio, enter Sagittarius, and it's not until Mercury sits at 6 degrees of Sagittarius again, that's where the retrograde began. So, this is a whole stretch that we've just come through, right? Life has been asking us to go back over our words, our choices, our plans, how people treat us, how people honor us, how we honor others. Old conversations resurface, past decisions didn't feel as solid. And yeah, tech issues. Absolutely tech issues. Okay. our travel schedules. Okay. Disruptions, delays, all that stuff. Okay. We're through that, and today the question is simple and strong. It is what have we learned about ourselves during this retrograde? Okay, under this energy, our mind will start to clear now. We'll see the things we missed. It's time that we either say it or we stop rehearsing it. Words will matter again. They have more strength in what we promise and what we agree to do, what we sign, what we write. And we can catch ourselves. We can catch ourselves too, especially when we talk to ourselves, right? I always mess this up. I'm too clumsy. I'm bad with decisions. I can't say that. They'll be upset. Now is the time to speak to ourselves with truth and respect. We need to acknowledge where we've grown, see what we have learned, work it into our sage wisdom, and letting our inner voice sound more like a wise friend and less than like a harsh judge. We'll be able to see where we jumped to conclusions. Are we filled in gaps with worst case scenarios? Or we let old stories color our reactions and our actions in new situations? So after weeks of reviewing and rethinking, Mercury stationary direct helps us see where our thoughts, our words, and our actions have not been balanced. And that could have looked it's time to change it now. It's time to have that one clear conversation or that one strong decision or, to follow through on a thought. And we have time. We have time. We're not going to, Rome wasn't built in a day, so to speak. So we have actually until Mercury going to 6 degrees of Sagittarius. And that's probably going to be maybe a little after Valentine's Day. And then we'll really be stepping into some new uncharted territory for ourselves again when it comes to our imagination, when it comes to our voice, when it comes to our communication. So as we go through these next several weeks, we'll walk back into certain situations, events, happenings. And they may have seemed familiar, or they will seem familiar, or Um, Maybe we thought we put that whole conversation or that whole event happening behind us. And in those moments, we can make a choice. Okay, so really, what this energy has been telling us is we've been constantly going in this circle motion, right? Should we do it this way? We'll do it this way. The circle motion, and we're in loops. We're in loops of how we react to certain things, what we say, what we don't say, how we're seen, how we're heard, or vice versa, how we're not seen and heard. And our actions and our words actually keep us in that loop. But every so often, when we become aware of that loop, we see a track going out this way. We can veer off that loop and go on a new way towards our future. So we can either continue the loop or we see that new track. And that will lead us towards the future self of who we are becoming. And all it takes is one truth that we are willing to speak. Okay, we'll turn to the cards. Who do we have? Oh, the World card. Yeah, a biggie was hiding at the bottom. The World card is here to tell us that we are closing pathways. We are closing doors on things. We are letting the past stay in the past. We are taking the lessons and the wisdom and the knowledge, and the clarity and the understanding forward with us, but we're not holding on to the story any longer. Wow, they really wanted to be shuffled up here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna buy myself a new chair one day. Oh my gosh, this whole thing just sunk right down. Now I'm way down here talking to you. How's the weather up there? Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is our underlying energy, and this clearly states, what do you need to let go of? What are you hanging on to? What can't you really just fathom this not being a part of your story going forward? Or where you hesitate to draw that line in the sand, and put some healthy boundaries in place. And that doesn't mean the boundary with just somebody that you love or a friendship, a close friendship or something, but boundaries for yourself. I will only let this happen to this point, and then, that's kind of my limit. It could be boundaries with the environments you go into. Maybe when you stress, you shop. So, okay, you're only allowed to, you make a list and you're only allowed to get those 5 items on your list. Anything else that you see, you have to write on the separate side of it and where you saw it, and you have to give it 24 hours thought on whether or not you really want to purchase that. You're only allowed, that's a very good boundary to easily put into place for yourself. And then if you do it and you follow through on it, you feel incredibly good about yourself. And you have the confidence to push yourself just a little bit more each time until you stop shopping when you stress and start going within and understanding why that stress is so prominent. There is a whole brand new path waiting you. Angels protect it. The path is only for you. No one else can walk it. So let go. Choose, decide, and then put action behind it. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, and we don't want to just choose. We don't want to be reckless. We don't want to just choose for the sake of choosing. Tilly says, I got to choose, so I'm just going to choose this. No. That is not what I'm asking you to do at all. This is each of those cups hold our thoughts in the head, okay? So some of them do have that secluded island that you own that you can just go to, and it's quiet and it's peaceful, and so many people live on the island. Or maybe it's a part of an island, or you have the biggest piece of property and it's just gorgeous. Maybe it's a refuge and for a certain wildlife species or anything, and you kind of just make sure everything goes well. Or maybe you are living in that penthouse high rise that you want. Maybe you're driving the car of your dreams. Maybe all these things could be in there. It could also be how you worry about the bills, how you should have said something and you didn't, how you brought that old baggage from the last relationship and applied it to the new relationship and kind of self-sabotaged yourself within that relationship. Or you are on the receiving end of that. The bills aren't being paid. There's not enough in the account. I want to travel and I can't. I want a better job, but there's none out there. All that stuff that you say to yourself is also in those cups. Because the universe doesn't separate it into good, bad, indifferent. The universe just says this is what they're talking about, so this is what we're going to give them. They cram it into these cups. So we get to choose the cup that we want. And if we could just grab the biggest, shiniest one, chances are we're not probably going to be happy with what is inside the cup. And we need to look at our situation from a new perspective, a new understanding. So if we've been looking from below, now is the time to get up and look from above it. And that's very much the 12 energy, to look at our situations logically, our happenings, our events in our life. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant, and I almost get it like it's an inner you, that you already carry the wisdom, the knowledge that you need in order to make these new decisions in your life, of how you're going to react, of how somebody always says those jokes and they're kind of directed at you, and so you just kind of laugh with everybody else. And now you say, that kind of hurt. So I think this is you, it's a very spiritual energy, tapping into your soul, and what you need, and how you need to assert yourself, maybe. And maybe it'll be small, tiny steps, and maybe it'll just be little breadcrumbs at the beginning, and that's okay. You do it at your speed. There's no rush. But the fact that you follow through, even just a little bit, it brings out your strength. It brings out your confidence. It brings out a higher vibration of who you are. And the Three of Cups. Have fun, celebration. This could be good news coming in. Raise your energy the easiest way possible, through smiles and laughter and giggles and dancing. Get creative. Have fun. Get imaginative. This is getting together in social settings. This is also good news, celebration. Celebrate just the fact that you all get to be together and just have fun together. Create a reason why. Okay, ancient stones. So we had like major, like I built that shed, right? We had major wind, like it was like 80 kilometers an hour at certain points. And I mean, the snow came, the hail came, the wind came, and and I was just like, oh, please, please, my shed that I just built. This will be, I get it all done. And just as I completed it all. That's when the storm started, to say, okay, so you think you did well? Let's check it out. You know what? I think it survived. I see it still standing there. I might have lost a shingle or two on like the capping, and I knew I didn't do that one piece of capping properly, and I didn't go back and fix it, so that's on me. But the road is clear. You know what to do. Walk it your way. Yeah, this is really the energy we're sitting in. Both Saturn. Now Saturn's going to be at 25 degrees for the rest of the year, but it is in direct motion now. Okay, Pisces will soon follow, but we've got right now Mercury, right? And so what it is the sun is here, and here comes Mercury. Okay, and he builds up speed, and then he's going really fast. Oh, then they conjunct, which is very important to know. And then Mercury flies off here, and then it goes retrograde, and it holds there for a second, just like a pendulum would. Comes down through, and it holds again, and then it comes back through. Okay. So know that most of these planets, even though they are starting to go direct for us, are held kind of stationary in the sky. They don't really happen that way, but that's our perception when we're looking at the sky. That's exactly what we are seeing. The road is clear. Uh, Come on, where are you? There you are. Oh, it's kind of short, this one. The road is clear. You've been working towards this moment for a while now, stone by stone, carefully paving the road before you. And it's time now to walk it, to journey ahead without wavering. You know what to do, and you know how to do it. The road ahead of you is clear. The success is on the horizon. Be bold and truly go for it. Expansion and ease are here. You're ready to do what you came here to do. Remember, you've been working towards this moment for years, decades, or maybe even lifetimes. See, I was just saying it could be a 30-year thing that you've been going through. If you asked a question, the answer is yes. And if you're asking whether you're ready for something or if the time is right, the answer is yes. If you're wondering if you have what it takes, the answer is yes, yes, yes. So enjoy the next phase of your journey. You've earned this moment, this flow, this prosperity, this progress, and you're going to make it look easy. But it's likely that it's the result of years of being devoted to you and your path. And as you walk it now, remember to walk it your way. Own your path, because there's no one who can walk it quite like you. So the ancient stone activation is, do I even have the card up? I'm so sorry. I'm ready to walk my unique path in a way that only I can. I'm so sorry. You know, my hand drifts. It's gone. I should have a little placeholder here or something. I think I said that about 10 years ago. I think I still should. And I've tried reading the cards the other way, but this is how I have the flow. This is what feels natural to me. This allows the messages to come in very freely. So this is what I stick to. I get a lot of complaints that you can't see the cards, you can't see the layout of the cards, and I have done it other ways, but I find it's more I'm trying to keep to the mythology rather than just delivering the message, which is why I'm here in the first place. So anyways, our animal is keep breathing, the dolphin. Keep breathing. In and out. Okay, so a couple of things when you are breathing. Okay, it doesn't matter. You hold it, you breathe it in, you hold it, you let it out. Here's the thing: if you want relaxation, okay, breathe in for, say, the count of 4, and then breathe out for the count of 6, or breathe in for the count of 5 and breathe out for the count of 10, whatever you want to do. Okay, but make the exhale longer than the inhale. And what that does is it sends a natural signal to our minds that we want relaxation. And so you will easily feel the tension going out of your shoulders and your neck. Really, you feel it a lot in your shoulders and stuff, a lot in your face. You don't realize that your jaw's been clenched all this time, but it has been. We pick up so much energy from just passing people, and the world's a busy place. So especially if you're out there in the world on a daily basis, you don't even realize the energy that you do pick up as you walk through the crowds. Just let it go. It's not your energy to carry. And also, if you want a flatter tummy, okay, what you want to do is when you breathe in, feel that feel your lungs start to inhale, and then feel your tummy start to inhale, and push your tummy out and push your pelvic floor down. Okay, and feel that strength. And then on the exhale or the release, start to pull your pelvic muscles up and your tummy in, almost like you are pushing your tummy into like a J underneath your rib cages, right? You just want to bring it that much in, and exhale through the mouth as much of that air as you can. And you will, if you kind of do that on a very continuous basis, you will notice your tummy starting to flatten a little bit. Okay, so and all those little muscles in there start to, or I guess they're big muscles down there, right? Anyways, back to you. Journal, water, energy shift, breathing. Focusing on the act of breathing clears the mind of all the daily distractions and clears our energy, enabling us to better connect with the spirit within. And Dolphin knows that you have been caught off guard, and she wants to remind you that stressful situations induce panic, which causes continued panic and stress. Try to meditate, enroll in a yoga class, participate in some form of exercise, even if it's just a couple of minutes each and every day. Dolphin feels that water-based exercises might work best. Exercise works similar to meditating, but also serves as an outlet of sorts. Release your sadness by crying. We all, I have to tell a story here, okay? So, the nails, okay? Going through my life, there have been people that I've really had to just suck it up and deal with them, even though I didn't like anything they stood for in life. And to have that relationship with them, and more on a business level than anything else. These were the people I needed to work with, so that's what I worked with. And so I didn't let my personality incite them to do a bad job or anything, I hope you understand what I'm saying there. But when I was building that shed, I tell you, a couple of those nails got names. So, work it out, right? Work out the tension that you've been holding on to for, seemingly years, right? Different people, I got the hammer out there. And of course, I would never take a hammer to anybody, but to the nail, and just kind of had some fun with it and laughed about it after and whatnot. But you know what, it kind of felt good at the same time. Get rid of that energy, okay? Whether or not you got a punching bag going, or you're just doing some simple easy exercises, you're walking, maybe you're doing the dishes, okay? Anything that creates that energy of movement, okay? Release your sadness by crying. We all need a release, and this is a time when the tears will roll, okay? Some of these decisions we make are hard, and it will take bravery and courage, and of course a sadness too. Get a makeover, an ego boost by getting your hair and nails done, new clothes, anything to help you catch your breath and enjoy the moment. And don't grab those rose-colored glasses, but think positively about anything, something. Look within yourself and see what needs to change and take action. More times than not, it's because you stopped loving yourself. Remember that there's nothing that you cannot be, cannot do, and cannot have. Clear the energy that is stifling you. Breathing is a great part and an important part of your system, body, mind, and spirit. Take some time for yourself and spend it in the water. Take out a journal and write while experiencing the sea air. And if you can't get away, soak in the bathtub, or add some sea salt or Epsom salt. Purchase a desktop fountain or a CD that invokes the feeling of being by the water. Well, nobody even knows what a CD is anymore. You can't. They're a rarity. Oh my goodness. Somebody actually gifted me when I retired a CD, and it was a struggle to find somewhere to play it. My car doesn't have it anymore. My computer doesn't. Even my laptop doesn't have it anymore. My newest laptop. So they've kind of become redundant, I guess. So back to you. Uh, start thinking about the changes you want to make. Maybe you want a stronger voice. Maybe you want to be seen and heard with your ideas and what you want in life and what you need in life. and where you want to go. You know, what matters to you most? That's the question of the year. So let's use our voice and our actions to claim it, to claim what matters most for us, and go forward with it. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.